Now at 6, a Carthage school teacher gives the gift of life to a retired colleague. Plus, the Joplin Fire Department receives the gift of a grant from a utility provider. And a home improvement company teams up to help build a better future for a Joplin nonprofit.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The verdict is in from a Jasper County murder trial in a case where an argument ended with a gunshot. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. Jurors today took less than 30 minutes to find Damian Fisher guilty of second-degree murder and armed criminal action in the March 2022 death of Scotty Roller of Neosho. Authorities say the two got into an argument over the purchase of a vehicle in Joplin. Prosecutors say Fisher took a handgun out of his waistband and shot Roller in the back as he was fleeing. Authorities say Fisher and his father disposed of the body by hiding it in a well on a property in Newton County. Damian Fisher will be sentenced at a later date. Eddie Fisher, Damian's father, previously pleaded guilty to abandonment of a corpse and receiving stolen property. In that case, Eddie Fisher is serving 7 years in prison. Clouds have moved in. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, we actually have a weak cold front that is going to be rotating through the area as we go through the evening hours. So temperatures cooling down just a bit, and our winds are switching around out of the northwest, still out of the southwest ahead of the front, but 71 in Stockton. We have 73 in Miami. Iola is down to 62. It's not bad. It's just a little bit cooler, but kind of breezy southerly winds all day long. Now that front is really from Independence, Parsons, Nevada up towards Stockton will continue to push through. Now with it, we have seen the clouds. We've had some very scattered light little showers, light little guys kind of pushing through southeastern Kansas, and then once you work into southwestern parts of Missouri, it's not a big deal, but they are going to be out there as we go through the next few hours. Eventually we'll start to clear out later on tonight. Pretty nice temperatures ahead. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
Catch you in a few. A Carthage junior high educator is teaching more than math to her students this semester. Nicole Rentgen is donating her kidney to the district's retired librarian, Betsy McCrary, giving an example of selflessness. But this is not the first time this has happened in the district. KOAM's Fernandez Silva has that story.
I hate to sound like it was such an easy choice, but I think it comes from my parents. My parents are very service oriented, and so I think that's why they didn't actually make that big of a deal out of it. They were like, oh, you're donating a kidney, that's great. They were excited for me, they were glad I'm doing it.
The decision of donating one of her kidneys came when the math teacher heard about special ed teacher Jason Rural being in need of a transplant. But he was not the only person in the district needing the organ.
I told her that if my kidney didn't work out for Jason, then she could have my kidney. And we laughed about it and we hugged, and then 2 years later, here we are.
The person Nicole is referring to is former librarian Betsy McCrary. While Jason and Nicole were not an ideal match, Nicole and Betsy were a perfect one. Now, from her 8th grade students, Nicole gets questions.
I guess they ask why. They ask why I'm doing it. And
what is the answer for that?
What I tell them is that I have 2 healthy kidneys. Betsy needs a healthy kidney, so why would I not just do it?
Being the one needing a healthy kidney 2 years ago, Jason knows the relief Betsy will soon feel.
Before I was living life, but now I'm living my best life due to the transplant, so it's been pretty amazing.
Jason ended up receiving his kidney from another teacher from the school district, Chelsea Abboot. Well, for Jason, Chelsea and Nicole are heroes.
Everyday hero comes with just stepping out of your comfort zone and doing something for someone else.
For Nicole, it's just a mere help to a friend.
Yeah, I'm helping her have a better quality of life, but yeah, yes, helping with quality of life.
In Carthage, Fernandez Silva, KOAM News.
That is a great lesson. The Carthage schools hosted a luncheon to celebrate the story and provide financial support to both Nicole and Betsy. Their surgeries are going to be on October 31st. Of course, we wish them a speedy recovery. The Joplin Fire Department today received a grant from Missouri American Water. The grant is part of the more than $55,000 being awarded to 47 Missouri fire departments and emergency response organizations. The utility company provides annual critical funding to Missouri fire departments and emergency organizations in the company's service areas.
It's absolutely vital. With October being Fire Prevention Month, we're utilizing the grant funding we're getting from this grant to resupply. We're buying some new puppets for the puppet shows that we put on for the schools. We're also buying educational materials that we'll be handing out.
Missouri American Water is investing about $450 million this year to improve reliable water service, which is critical for fire protection. Volunteers from Lowe's today joined forces to support Children's Haven of Southwest Missouri. Children's Haven provides a temporary home to children ages birth through 17 years whose families are experiencing a crisis. Lowe's has remodeled the Children's Haven kitchen already with new countertops, new cabinets, new appliances. For Lowe's, the project underscores the home improvements commitment to making a positive difference to local communities.
I grew up here, so anything I can do to reach out to the community is a huge deal for me, and it's also a huge deal for my boss, who is very involved in our community as well. And Lowe's in general, it's part of our mission statement to give back to the community in which we serve.
Children's Haven is at 711 South Pitcher Avenue in Joplin. Later, conference realignment might be catching on among area schools as Neosho becomes the latest to consider that change. But first, we head to two area cemeteries dating back to the 1800s for a history lesson. Enthusiasts, the Big Sugar Gravel Race takes off this coming Saturday. That 100-mile bicycle race hits McDonald County around 8 in the morning. It's going to travel to their first stop in Pineville. From Pineville, the race heads to Whistling Springs Brewery and heads up to drivers in the area. Expect more than 650 bicyclists on the roadways. Early voting has begun in Cherokee County, Kansas. Interested voters can stop by the Cherokee County Courthouse Monday through Friday until November 6th at noon. The election is November 7th, and the polls on Election Day will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Cemeteries impact the community by not only being a place of rest, but also providing a glimpse into the past. KOAM's Amber Jenkins continues her look at four state cemeteries with a visit to two of them in Pittsburgh.
Still get a lot of requests from families out of state to bring the remains to be buried where they're from, be back in their community for their final resting place.
The City of Pittsburgh Parks and Recs Department is proud that Mount Olive Cemetery serves the community by offering a peaceful and beautiful resting place. The natural beauty is maintained by a local landscaping company that the city is thankful for.
The landscape maintenance and stuff, depending on the season, grass, it's probably anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 a month to maintain the cemetery to this high of standard.
A Pitt State history professor, Dr. Chris Lawson, says cemeteries near campus not only serve the community, but academia as well. She takes her students to Highland Cemetery south of campus and documents the headstones to share online.
This semester we took 130 pictures that were untaken in the past, and 13 of them had been specifically requested by relatives or descendants. And that's rewarding. It's fulfilling to do that.
Keeping history alive not only means keeping cemeteries tidy, but also remembering the stories that make the community what it is today.
Each one of these people here had a story, and they had people they left behind. And it's good to make those connections year-round, not just at Halloween.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Some Mount Olive and Highland Cemetery graves date all the way back to the mid-1800s. A little bit later, district playoffs continue on the volleyball courts for Missouri high schools. John's going to have a preview for us coming up in sports.
Plus, we have a cold front that is rolling through right now. So what does that mean for the next few days? We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it turned out to be a nice Wednesday for us today, and then clouds have increased throughout the afternoon. Now we have mostly cloudy skies across the region, but it still looks pretty good. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, Indigo, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, look at the clouds that have increased, and with it, we are seeing a few very light, tiny little showers, just a few sprinkles, couple little showers, which are pushing through. It's not a big deal, but still across southeastern Kansas, Girard, Pittsburgh, little sprinkles, little shower from Lamar up toward Nevada. And besides that, not a whole bunch going on. It's going to be pretty quiet as we go through the evening hours, but this front continues to work through. So 70 south of the front. It's not cold on the north side. It's just a smidge cooler. And then we got 60s back across southeastern Kansas into west central Missouri. Nice shot. 7th and range line, 69 southerly winds at about 10. Visibility is still pretty good. And it's been kind of breezy throughout the daytime hours today. Those south winds at about 10 to 20, but gust at times 25 upwards to 30. Now the winds are calming down along the front, but behind it, it's going to be a little bit breezy again late tonight into the morning hours for us tomorrow. Evening planner sliding back through the 60s, clearing out late, dropping into the 50s, eventually into the upper 40s later on tonight. And it's this system that we are watching. Now the bulk of the energy is going to slide across the Great Lakes, and it just doesn't have much moisture to work with. So behind it, if you look out toward the west, big ridge of high pressure, not much going on. That's going to be our weather as we go through the next few days, about 4 or 5 days, looking pretty good. All right, let me step you through time. We're going to stop 7 o'clock in the morning, upper 40s to start. By the noon hour, a few little clouds shooting through, partly sunny skies tomorrow, mid 60s. By the afternoon, I think most of us 70 to about 72. 71 in Nevada, 73 in Miami, Chanute, up to about 73. Tomorrow evening looks good. Tomorrow night looks good. Clear skies, a little chilly. We drop back, upper 40s once again. Then as we go into Friday, quite a bit of sunshine, warmer. Look at this, 77 Lamar, 75 Neosho, Miami 77, Fort Scott also up to about 77. Day planner for you tomorrow, 9 a.m., 54, 68 by 1, 71 by 5 p.m. Plenty of sunshine throughout the day. Let's jump to Friday evening. We got a high school football, another great evening for football, just like last week, not quite as cool. Kickoff 68 by the fourth quarter, about 60 degrees, so it looks pretty good as we head into Friday evening. So when are we going to get some rain? We have a couple waves next week that are much stronger, that are going to bring much better chances for showers and thunderstorms into the region, especially starting late Tuesday into Wednesday. So we're going to be focusing our attention on that as we get a little bit closer to it. 71 tomorrow, 76 Friday. Look at the weekend. 75 Saturday, 76 on Sunday. Could get a couple little pop-up thunderstorms Monday and Tuesday, but the better chances for rain Wednesday and Thursday, and then again next weekend. We could see a pretty big cool down, maybe our first freeze by the second half of next weekend. So that's right around the corner.
We need the rain. We don't really need a freeze.
We don't.
Just yet. Thanks, John. Hey, Caney Valley schools are moving to a 4-day schedule starting Monday, October 30th, as a water crisis continues. According to the district release, the district is making other changes to help conserve water usage as well. That includes no showers at the school and consideration of a modified sports schedule for the remainder of the semester. The drought in southeast Kansas caused the water issues for Caney both this year and last year. Still ahead, more conference realignment news in southwest Missouri, and volleyball district tournaments reached the semifinal round tonight. John Dales has those stories and more up next.
Conference realignment is coming to Southwest Missouri high school athletics. This started exactly a week ago when Carl Junction announces it's leaving the Central Ozark Conference for the newly established Ozark Mountain Conference. Now it appears Neosho High School might be doing the same. The Neosho School District posting on Facebook today that Hillcrest and Parkview have petitioned to join the OMC, and Neosho asking for the opinion of those who competed for NHS because superintendents from the OMC have inquired as to Neosho's interest to join the conference, while also stating a similar inquiry was made of Willard. Now, if Neosho makes a move to the OMC, it would continue to drastically change the makeup of the COC, which just lost Carl Junction and Branson in the past week, brings its membership down to 8, and if Neosho and Willard were to leave, that'd drop membership down to 6, barring any additions. Meanwhile, that would mean the newly formed OMC continues to grow. As of right now, it has only 6 members, with Parkview and Hillcrest under petition to join. Neosho would be the closest school in the new conference to Carl Junction. College cross-country season flying by. Pitt State leaves Thursday for the MIAA Championships in Columbia, and distance coach Ben Barrows feels the Gorillas are ready.
I feel really good about both squads. Everything in training says that we're ready for a great day. On the men's side, yeah, we don't race very often with the top guys, especially just because we want to be in a position to do really well for championship season. The race distance is 8K and 10K for championship racing, and those are the long races, and if you do too many of them, it can just wear you down. So we try to save our best racing for late in the season. And the women, they did get an extra race compared to the top men, but yeah, both teams, the training's been going great, and I feel really good about where they're at.
Missouri High School Volleyball District Playoffs continue this evening. The semifinals of a couple district tournaments in our area taking place today. One of those being the Class 2 District 11 tournament. Diamond is the 1 seed there. Diamond the 1, Sarcoxy the 5. The Wildcats received a first round bye, so this is their first postseason game yet. Meanwhile, the Bears beat Pierce City 3-1 last night to get here. Third meeting of the year between these two. Wildcats won the first two. We get highlights of game 3 tonight at 10. In Branson, top-seeded Carl Junction also in the semifinal facing Springfield Catholic. First meeting of the year between these two. Winner advances to the title game Saturday. Winner of that game faces the winner of this game between Webb City and Branson, two COC rivals. Webb City swept its quarterfinal to get here. Parkview was the one who lost that game. Branson beat Hillcrest 3-1. That's all for sports. We're back right after this.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. The turkey hunting season canceled in Kansas. We're going to get a reaction from a sporting goods store. Plus, the Maple Leaf Festival continues in Carthage with a worship night. And with spending on the rise, Americans are falling behind on their savings. Those stories, a lot more, of course, it's coming up tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Firefighters in Girard, Kansas put out more than just fires. Turns out they also put out some great stories. The Girard Fire Department hit the public library today for story time. And just in case a great story didn't capture the minds of the young well enough, they also brought out firefighting equipment and a fire truck.
It's good. It feels good to reach out to the kids. Sometimes when you approach them in a fireman's outfit, they get scared. But for us here, just talking with them, showing them, hey, we're just an everyday person, out of our uniform. But when we dress up, we're not to be scary. But just to kind of educate them and about fire prevention, fire safety.
The Girard Public Library is at 174 South Osage Street, so check it out, so to speak. What kid doesn't love to see a fire truck? Huh?
I know, every kid does.
And hear stories.
There you go.
And meet firefighters.
There you go.
It's
I always liked it as a kid. So.
Yeah, of course. Why not? Hey, the weather, it's getting kind of cooler out there, Doug.
Yeah, kind of fire pit weather as we head into the weekend. 71 for us tomorrow, 76 on Friday. The weekend looks fantastic, mid-70s, and then chances for rain really increasing next week, which we need it, so we'll definitely take it after the weekend.
Yeah, look at those temps. Yeah. Beautiful. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.